This is the Nomestia podcast, where we return to home as a paste. You are welcome here.
Okay, so here we are. It's been a while since we've actually sat down. Was the last time we sat down in Swan?
Yeah.
You're listening to Nomestia, by the way.
Well, they know
we're
that.
Gonna do...
They know that because Paloma does the intro.
Of course, yeah, of course. And we're going to do a Nomestia diaries, just to give you an update on what we've been up to.
Yeah.
Do you want to describe where we are?
Yeah, we're in a campsite. It's before Safi on the coast. We're sitting amongst trees, actually eucalyptus trees, and there's sand dunes. There's the sound of birds, and then there's this really beautiful coastline. It's stunning. There's wildflowers. It's a very, very beautiful place. The only issue is that there are a ridiculous number of flies.
Like the most amount of flies I've ever seen in my life, like biblical scale.
It was bad in Mazuga for flies.
Yeah.
And then we set a timer on your phone to like shut the doors for the flies, because then they got really bad in the afternoon. But here they're just bad from... I literally woke up this morning and I was like, where the fuck have they all come from? We got them all out last night. I'm wondering, can they get through the vents, the max fans? Can they?
Don't know.
Anyway, there must be somewhere that they... Anyway, it's ridiculous with flies. But that aside, it's very beautiful.
Yeah. So, let you guys know what we've been up to. We have three main things. What are we going to do first? Well, we're going to talk about the waterfall.
Oh, yeah.
Bit of waterfall action.
Yeah,
so
let's do that.
So, our general trajectory has been we were at the coast, but actually we're coming to the end of our 3 months. And so we were looking to do a border run, which we will come on to later. That's going to be another thing that we're going to talk about, doing the border run at Ceuta or Ceuta. But on the way we decided, because we were in Marrakesh and we had heard tell that there were these waterfalls to visit with, as a bonus, Barbary macaques to see. It's another animal we wanted to tick off our list. So we were well into that. About 2.5 hours.
Well, I mean, on paper.
Yeah.
But not those roads.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the roads to get to it were pretty...
No, it's not the condition. People have to understand this is not the Moroccan road condition. I don't want people to think that, because most of the roads are better than the UK roads. It's when you're going into the hills in Morocco. You're going around the bends, and in a 7-ton truck, it's slow.
Yeah, it's hard work.
So we were in Marrakesh. The weather wasn't good.
Yes.
We were going to go up the coast. So we were going to be here earlier on, and we were going to go up the coast. But then we decided to go inland to Marrakesh because it was warmer. And then the irony was that Marrakesh had dropped like 10 degrees. And then the day after we left to go to see these waterfalls, it snowed in Marrakesh. I mean, this is unheard of. The weather is ridiculous at the moment.
It's quite bizarre at the moment, yeah.
And then because we got to Marrakesh, and then we talked about these falls on the way, and we met somebody else who was like, oh my gosh, you have to go to these falls. They're so nice. So many people have been like, oh my gosh, they're so nice. And we were like, let's do it.
That's the thing, and we've seen Instagram chat about these falls, and we're like, oh my god, yeah, they look really epic.
Also, because it's not on the way. Let's just make this clear. This was a detour.
Yeah.
Basically, what turned out to be more like an 8-hour detour for these falls. So we were like, but there's going to be Barbary macaques. We found the place to park. Everyone loved the parking spot.
We love a waterfall.
Adore it.
Yeah. So
Me particularly.
Yeah, we love a waterfall. We went on holiday to Thailand last year. We went to go see 2, which were epic. You could swim in the pools at the bottom. When we were in the south of Portugal, there was a beautiful little village called Alte.
Very beautiful.
Had its own waterfall.
It's very underrated, Alte. If ever you're in the Algarve and you are where the water is more full, because it's not there in the summer, in the height of summer, then that waterfall is beautiful, and it's not that busy. Well, when we went both times, it wasn't the most amazing weather, and it really wasn't that busy, but parking's easy, and that village is very quintessential Portugal.
The village is beautiful.
Yeah.
And even in the village, they actually have like a bit where you can swim as well.
Yes.
With the I don't know, with the stream coming down
Yeah.
or that kind of thing.
And it's
But anyway,
filled with muscovy ducks as well,
Yeah.
which is so, it's just, and it had wells there. It was very beautiful, Alte.
would always recommend a visit to Alte if you're in
Yeah.
Portugal in that area.
Yeah.
But so we knew we liked a waterfall, so we're like, yeah, let's go for it. These are epic. I hear now that they're the tallest in
Morocco, I
tallest
think.
in Morocco. Yeah. So we went for it. The weather wasn't all that. So it was like quite overcast, wasn't it? It wasn't raining.
No, it had rained
It had rained.
all that day.
Yeah,
Yeah, it rained all that day. And the day before. It was
Yeah.
a thunderstorm the night before with lightning.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Yeah, there was like epic lightning the
Yeah.
day before. So, but then when we went, it was overcast. And so, yeah, we walked down this windy track to go see these waterfalls. Now, first, what was the first thing that struck you, Naomi?
What?
Well, what happened?
What
we
with
got
the- with the-
got accosted by.
Oh, well, literally within 30 seconds. Like, let's bear in mind, the van where we parked, we had no idea that we were literally 2 seconds from I don't know, it wasn't a souk, but it was a souk. It was like a...
It was like a tourist trap souk.
Yeah, tourist
So-
trap souk.
Overall, we weren't convinced by this waterfall. Certainly not in the context of having to do a massive detour and
Not
go
on
up,
it, no.
go round wiggly, windy roads.
I mean, beautiful and all,
So
but-
I'm going to say that up front because
Don't think that we're going to stop being positive.
yeah. So straight away we went into this, and yeah, it just felt straight away like a complete tourist trap.
Well, the thing is you just told the children all about the Barbary macaques again, even though we tried to do that before. Where were we going to go? In Spain?
Gibraltar.
Yeah, which
because
we never did.
Yeah.
We never did that. So they learnt all about the Barbary macaques, wow, buzzing it with excitement,
Yeah.
and then we never went because we ran out of time. God
Yeah,
bless
yeah.
the whole thing. So then we were like reminding them again, and we were saying we are not going to feed the Barbary macaques because it means that they don't search for their own food. It's not good for them, and the food that they're giving them is not good. So within 30 seconds, you were behind me with the dog,
Yeah.
which, the dog was like, the fuck are these?
Didn't know what to do this year.
No, but then we kept obviously the dog. Obviously, like we were very careful. We didn't put the dog anywhere near them, but the dog was like from a distance. Like they didn't know the macaques didn't see the dog.
Yeah.
But there's stray dogs everywhere, so we were like the macaques have seen the dogs.
Yeah.
So we were like. So I was there, and then you walk, and suddenly I've got a fucking Barbary macaque on my shoulder because he's feeding them and then asking me for money.
Yeah, so basically these kind of guys are evidently walking around. They got their shopping bags full of peas. It was like those peas that you shell,
well,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
that, and you know what the irony was? A lot of highly processed food for the Barbary macaques.
Brilliant. Oh, yeah, and
They're giving them biscuits.
yeah, this is the thing. So, yeah, we were giving this whole spiel to the children in the morning. We're not going to feed them because that gets them used to humans, gets them, out of their natural habitat. It's not good for...
And this is their natural habitat. This is
Yeah.
what we have to understand. This is their natural habitat. It's not acceptable. I actually was reading a post recently about the problem with animals and tourism from a woman, and I replied to her post on Substack. And it's just, I mean, we'll talk about it in Marrakesh, but it's just so inappropriate. And I understand that they're doing it because it's money that they can make with these Barbary macaques, but it made me deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was very sad. So, like, basically you got accosted by this guy
Yeah.
with his shopping bag. He was feeding them, and he obviously knew what to do to try and get them on people's shoulders. And it was very awkward. It was like, oh, come on, take a photo. I awkwardly took a photo. I mean, we can share that photo. But you don't look very comfortable in the photo.
I haven't seen that photo.
You probably
best not.
probably repressed it.
Yeah, I mean, it was all inappropriate.
And then the guy obviously sticks out his hand
Yeah,
and is like, money? Like, we were like, no, actually, because we're quite annoyed that you've done that.
He literally,
And not-
you weren't there. He grabbed. This is not what happens at all, really, in Morocco.
Yeah.
He grabbed me and dragged me.
Yeah.
And it was inappropriate.
It felt really inappropriate. So, yeah, we were quite annoyed. So we were like, absolutely not. Sorry, mate, but that's a no.
I know some people would find that funny, but I think that, and I've been talking to the children about this because they are deeply uncomfortable with the way animals are being treated at times with tourism. And we talk about how the difference that we can make is by basically saying no.
Yeah.
We do not engage with it, and so that's all we can do.
Yeah, and we're looking at the monkeys from afar. We're taking pictures from afar. We're appreciating the monkeys. And
are they monkeys?
Oh God, I knew as soon as I said monkeys.
They're not monkeys.
Technically, no. Are they?
Which are they? They're not monkeys.
Oh,
they don't have a tail.
I did a whole home
Jesus
education thing. I should know. Anyway,
No, something about their tail.
yeah, something to do with their tail.
They don't have a tail.
I think technically they are monkeys, but they just don't have tail.
Oh no, that was it. Yeah, they are monkeys.
Yeah.
Are they?
I don't know. I can be like, doubt it. Anyway, whatever. Let's not get away. Like, that's what happens. You bloody amount of tangents we have to like. Anyway,
I don't know. I don't edit it, so I don't hear.
So we're watching. We're looking at them. We're looking at the natural habitat. We're taking some pickies from afar. We're not interrupting them. We're just leaving them be. But yes. So yeah, we were frustrated by that.
Well, I mean, they were only at the beginning. They weren't.
Yeah.
They weren't further in.
Yeah.
Probably because of what then came next.
Yeah. Yeah. So already sort of that got our back up. But there was a really nice spot where you could sort of view them and stay at like a distance and sort of observe them. Yeah. Obviously, a load of children trying to sell you peanuts to give to them.
Yeah.
Loads of those blokes trying to get you involved. I think actually we didn't get bothered that much. I think they knew the vibe. I think we gave off that fuck off energy to those guys.
Yeah, I wasn't happy.
Yeah. But
they had plenty of tourists who were into it.
Yeah, plenty of tourists who were going for all that. So yeah, that was so lovely. You could get a nice picture of the Barbary macaques with the waterfall in the background. That was lovely.
I've got
that was probably the highlight of it, I would say.
Yeah, because I've got a nomestia video on YouTube sharing a bit of footage from it, so you can see it on there.
Yeah, so we peaked a bit too soon, didn't we, really?
Well, I should have just stopped there, really.
We should have just gone back to the car park and just got back into the van. But then we wanted to see the waterfall, so we just kept on going. And it was essentially like a wiggly, windly path going down, and on every corner, a new tourist trappy thing, like a new store. Oh, I've got a horse. Come and have a picture on my horse.
That horse. Sorry, I forgot about the horse.
So random.
Also, what was that? I had never seen a horse dressed like that in Morocco.
Yeah, I mean, if it was traditional dress, I don't know. The horse was quite happy. Like, easiest gig in the world for the horse. Just standing there.
He was loving life better than the bloody poor mules who was having to mule the tourists up and down.
Yeah, so also another thing, people with mules / donkeys, again, should know the difference.
No, it was pretty clear those ones were mules.
Yeah, okay. Guys with mules for people who... Because it was really steep.
Stop it.
No, but it was really steep. And, it was really steep.
To be fair, Safi was willing to go on one.
So the mules were there to, like, anyone who was, like, tired from the journey and was not going to make it up. The mules were there for like basically a taxi up the
It wasn't.
back up the
do
hill.
you know what got me was that they weren't even like. There was one at the bottom, but there was one like halfway. Obviously worked out that's about the point when
when people were like, no mate, okay, give me the mule, fine, pass.
I'll pay.
Alright, whatever, how many dirhams? I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. Whatever it takes.
So then my thighs are burning. Oh my god. So like I quite enjoyed it. For me, it was like a Moroccan episode of The Apprentice, and like the Moroccan version of Sir Alan Sugar, or Lord Sugar. He's sent tourists. And now I've laid on Ouzoud Falls. Not even mentioned the name of it.
Oh yes.
Ouzoud Falls. Sorry. Now I've laid on Ouzoud Falls.
This is what all the impression that you did the whole fucking time. This, and then you were singing.
Now you got options.
Stop.
The mule guy, he's gonna. You can have the mules. You can do a bit of henna. You can have a shop, make some baskets.
Yeah, he was there.
Got to smell what sells.
Or the best bit, you missed the best bit.
You could have a carrier bag. You could have a carrier bag with some food in it for the macaques. See how you get on with that.
No, but you missed the best part.
I know, I'm getting on to that.
Okay.
So, when we got to the bottom. And we could see it from a high, and we were perplexed from the beginning. And look, and if you've done it,
and you loved it,
and you were into it,
you've obviously got a better mindset than us.
Yeah, we're obviously too negative, but they had these boats, and they were going. the pool at the bottom of the waterfall was like quite big. So like, but these boats were going. I mean, they were going maybe 10 meters
Max.
towards the thing,
Max.
and then coming back. Like, I don't know. For me, and what we were saying was, I don't really understand what you were gaining by getting in the boat. Like, the photo opportunities to us didn't seem like they were worth. I mean, we didn't even ask how many dirhams.
I really wanted to ask how much it was.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it didn't seem worth it.
No, because the distance between you being on a boat in front of the falls and me and the children walking across the bridge was practically 3 meters. So
yeah, exactly. We were like, yeah, because there was a bridge that gave you like a lovely view across, and we were like, I don't know why you would pay to go on that boat, because you've not.
Maybe it was really cheap.
Maybe it was. I mean, we didn't ask. I wanted to ask, but then
They didn't seem attractive to me.
Yeah, the prospect did not seem attractive.
No.
so like, I don't know. Have we got anything else to say on it? Like,
No,
overall,
you were singing that song.
What's that? Oh, well, up until that point, we had been chasing waterfalls.
Yeah.
Like, but, for us, don't go chasing waterfalls.
Not like that.
Yeah. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to, I would. Yeah. Because,
I think, it was a bit much. It was worse than, to me, that whole thing, because, like, obviously we've done like a good mixture of Morocco, but to me, that was worse than walking down a souk in Marrakesh.
Yeah, just like the tourist trappiness of it, it didn't feel
the fact that
right
there was no
all.
space to walk either on the pavements, like, and everyone was walking back. The amount of people, the fact it's a natural attraction, but there was like I mean, there's rubbish everywhere in every country. We all know that, but there was like a fuck ton of rubbish in like a really small area where they're on the boats, and you're like, there's nothing attractive about this. Like, you've basically ruined, like, because when you looked at it, it was just filled with everything made for the tourists, and they ruined the natural attraction. Whereas if you went to like Ouzoud, for example, there's nothing around it. Or you went to, like, when we went to Thailand and they were like, oh, there's a waterfall up here if you want. We were like, what? No way. And it was beautiful.
Near those ones, like for example in Ouzoud, and like the ones that we were looking at in Thailand, there was like a picnic area.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. That was like the extent of like the sort of the gentrification of it. Is that the word? I don't know.
I don't know.
The
That's
sort
the
of
technical word for the tourists.
The tourists, catering to the tourists.
That, and then the fact that what I feel quite sad about is that it's taken away the natural habitat for the Barbary macaques as well.
Yeah, we're kind of a bit sort of anti that.
Anyway, don't go chasing that waterfall unless
in our opinion,
unless you're in the area, which is very unlikely because it's in the middle of bloody nowhere. But
not for us.
It just wasn't for us out of all the things.
We have ticked it off, so
yeah, okay.
Done.
What was the next thing?
Done. I mean, we were going to talk about my issue.
Oh.
What happened?
Well, you say what happened.
Wow.
So
I mean,
I'm bored of hearing about what happened, quite fucking frankly.
We're at this lovely villa. Actually, did we want to talk about the villa just momentarily?
Okay, go on then.
Well, we have this beautiful villa on the outskirts of Essaouira. So Essaouira, you can't really take your camper van, your motorhome into Essaouira.
No, you can't sleep.
Yeah, you just can't sleep in the middle of Essaouira. But we found this beautiful, beautiful villa on the outside, and absolutely amazing, like idyllic, like little olive grove, beautiful flowers, absolutely epic. Swimming pool, like just a beautiful French villa with a swimming pool. 100 dirhams.
Wow, it was 100 dirham per night plus 5 dirham tax per person.
Yeah.
Which made it 125 dirhams. So basically a tenner.
Like, we would recommend this place so much.
The only thing about it is it's French. It's owned by a French couple, and it looks French. So it's not your traditional authentic Moroccan stay. Yes. But if you're in that area, there's not a million choices. Yeah. This one's pretty close to Essaouira. And we landed there because we needed somewhere quickly. We were like, where do we go? And then we landed there and we were like, oh, it's quite nice actually.
Actually, it is really nice. But anyway, we... because it was so sort of idyllic and like there wasn't any dogs around.
Actually, do you know what? One
Any
thing I want to
stray
add.
dogs.
Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
One thing I want to add is that they did hire Moroccans to work there, which I have seen very few of. Like when they're French owned, sometimes they hire other nationalities that are not Moroccan. But I will say that this one did hire Americans.
Yeah. So,
Sorry,
yeah, no,
I just
it felt,
wanted to add that.
Yeah, no, it felt good. It felt sort of, nice, and it was what it was, and it was a lovely experience. But, so we let the cat out. We were like, oh yeah, there's no actual stray dogs here, so, it's all good.
The stray dogs are not a problem though, really, normally.
Yeah, okay.
The stray dogs are a problem in the city, the cities and the towns. They're not a problem in the countryside.
No. So we let Helen out, it was all good, but then there was this cat who would not, it was quite difficult to get rid of actually, because it had like approached us like a few times, and it was like trying to like, get it away, but it was like really obstinate, very stubborn, and it just would not bugger off. And annoyingly, at one point, it literally got into a massive fight with our cat Helen. Just hear this, and it's so dramatic, when the two cats are.
Helen is such a princess as well. She avoids like getting into fights. Like the first time she had a fight with a cat was in Morocco, and she pissed herself because she'd never had a fight in her life.
She's not massively streetwise. She's a bit of a princess, isn't she?
So that for her, she was silly. She knows to go in the van if there's a cat hanging around. It was silly of her. She doesn't normally do that with another cat.
Yeah. So I was close by. I put my foot in the way to try and stop this fight.
Hold on. So just to clarify, because I don't think I've bothered to ask, because
it's chaos.
It's just chaos. But did you literally use your foot to try and stop it?
I think the aim was to try and kick the other cat away.
So you did put your foot purposely in there. It didn't accidentally get in the way.
Oh no, it was completely me. Have
fuck.
I not made that clear?
No.
Oh no, it's completely my fault.
Oh my fucking
100%.
Right. Okay. Right.
But it was like a reaction. If my darling little kitty's getting attacked by like some stray cat, then I'm going to try and kick that other cat.
All right. Could have just put water over them, but go on then. Then what?
Oh, what? I was outside. What do I do? Run inside and no, mate.
Well, you will be now, wouldn't you?
Well, whatever. We need like a super soaker or something strapped to the outside of the van, don't we? Evidently.
No, the cat just needs to not go near the stray cat.
Well, exactly. It's the cat's fault. Anyway, I got a scratch on my foot.
Quite a few scratches.
Yeah, it was like, I keep saying it's like the sign. If you ever watched that film in the 90s, Mask of Zorro, it was kind of like that, like like one of those on my foot, and didn't really think anything of it.
Well, you did say at the time, probably you went the word, and you said you don't remember this, but you said to me, probably not ideal.
Yeah, probably not ideal. But then after that, didn't really think anything of it. And then meanwhile, I had a lovely time at the villa. What I will say about this villa, let's just quickly say, on Partner Night, we would still give this villa 5 stars out of 5.
I'd give it more than 5.
I would literally probably give it
Fabulous.
6. If we could give it 6, there's certain places where you're like, oh my God, this is the tits. Like, this is top notch, okay? This place, we would definitely give it 5 stars, and we will at some point. But we're going to... Oh, you've already given it 5 stars.
Yeah.
But the owner's dog... Where we were parked was a nice little corner. However, where we'd chosen was evidently where the owner's dog, like a beautiful boxer, and beautifully behaved boxer, like so lovely.
Oh, it's so cute.
But it was evidently where it's like pooing patch.
I mean, I was in the hammock just with a waft of shit everywhere.
Yeah.
That was the only
And actually, every time I walked around our area, I could see like old dog poos.
That's not
and
bad.
like every day, like clockwork in the evening.
Yeah,
you saw it. You were like, come, oh, here he is. Here he is. And we mentioned it to the owners who, for whatever reason, didn't do anything about it. I don't know, if I owned a thing where there was motorhomes and someone said, oh yeah, your dog's shitting in our area, I'd be mortified. I'd be down there with some poo bags and like doing what I could to try and sort it out. But yeah, for whatever reason, they didn't do anything. So, I mean, it speaks to how much we loved this place that despite that, we're still willing to give it 5 stars out of 5.
Yeah, I know.
That was just like a little aside. Anyway, so I had this scratch from the this cat, and I don't know, what was it? It was about 5 days later. We were at outside Marrakesh.
Yeah, and we were talking to Sam from the Vanny Pack.
Shout out to the Vanny Pack.
Shout out to Vanny Pack, even though she says she doesn't listen to the podcast.
No, okay.
But anyway, if you've met Sam with the Vanny Pack...
Oh, yeah, tell her from us that we gave her a shout out.
Yeah. She was like, oh, you know, some people have died from rabies.
What?
Like that.
Oh, yeah, there was a woman. There was a British woman.
British woman, she died only last year. What?
Yeah, from a scratch from a dog.
What?
What?
No, it was a bite.
Nah, it's a
It was a
scratch.
bite.
I read it. It was a scratch.
It was a scratch? No,
Yeah.
fuck off. I thought it was a bite.
Oh,
Was
maybe it was a bite.
She basically was, what I'd read was she was on a sun lounger
Yeah.
on
And
the
it was
beach.
like a
she moved
dog
this-
underneath,
Yeah,
yeah.
and she moved it or tried to get the dog to move or something
Yeah.
happened and the dog did something. She didn't
Yeah.
do anything about it. When she went back to the UK, they realised after, was it a few months? And then they
Yeah.
realised. And so basically, apparently, once you've got it, you're fucked.
Yeah, the thing about rabies is it's asymptomatic, symptomless,
Yes.
until it's too late.
Yes.
So if you start getting symptoms, and the symptoms are like kind of like madness, aren't they?
Well, yeah, because that's what the dog, that's what dogs and cats present
Yeah.
with rabies. It's the
Yeah.
same, obviously the same thing.
And in French, actually, it's called rage.
Yeah.
Rage.
You learnt that when you were trying to message
Yeah.
the villa to ask about whether the cat was actually a stray.
Yeah.
Ali literally questioning if the one-eyed feral
Because
cat
I was...
that had a fight with our cat, just clarifying, and the
Okay,
French
but
guy
but
was
there
like
wasn't- but
not
there was-
replying because he was like, what the fuck am I replying to this? Ali
there was
doing...
another guy with cats, and I thought it might have been
It
his
wasn't-
cat,
I said
and
to
it
him-
might have been vaccinated.
I said to you that the guy in the Heimer did not own that cat. His were inside.
Basically, typical bloke, maybe typical bloke if we want to go down that route, but like, I was trying to, anything I could to try and get out of having to have 5 anti-rabies vaccinations.
You said this cat.
I was like hanging my hope on the fact that this
cat.
one-eyed
Sorry,
cat,
Yes, no.
one-eyed cat.
No. To clarify, you said to me, well, at the time as well, you went, hasn't even had that eye sewn up. Obviously, it's a fucking stray cat then. Why are you even messaging the guy?
A one-eyed cat where you can literally see inside the
You're
socket
literally-
where it's missing an eyeball.
You got yourself so worked up. You were like messaging him in English, then you
livid.
was like messaging him in French, and then you were ringing him just in case he owned this non-sewn up one-eyed cat, so you didn't have to have your rabies vaccines.
No, so the guys at the villa, they confirmed it is a stray cat, funnily enough. So we were in Marrakesh.
Oh, just to
Right.
clarify why that makes a difference, because if it's an owned cat, it's probably had its rabies
Yes.
vaccine,
So,
and then
yeah,
it
the
doesn't
point is,
transmit the rabies to you.
It's not it's not really a risk at all if the cat's had an anti-rabies vaccination.
And then the other thing you said to me was, well, if it's alive in 10 days, it's not an issue. That was the other thing you fucking said to me. I said, how am I supposed to know this one-eyed cat's still alive in 10 days? What do you want me to do? Message the villa and ask them if that one-eyed cat's still alive and not
Can you just
showing symptoms?
Do me a favour, keep tabs on that one-eyed cat. Anyway, so yeah, but what we'll say. So I'm still in the middle of it. How many have I had? 3.
Fucking hell, it's only 3.
Yeah, so I've had 3. So you have to have 5 altogether in general. We had the first one in Marrakesh. It's like a municipal health centre where you get these things, and these places, they'll have a anti-rabies person who just gives out rabies shots, and it's all free of charge, and it's obviously a thing that they take very seriously, and it's been absolutely marvellous. But obviously, when we're wild and free, we don't want to be held to any schedule, so it's just been an absolute ball ache in that regard.
Well, I don't think it's been that bad, but you just want to make it a big thing because you're just...
Yeah, well,
moaning
I was
about it.
frustrated.
The children enjoy taking and escorting you in.
Also, having that first night, having done the Googling, genuinely thought I was going to die.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
like,
fair.
oh, this is me. I'm done.
You said you woke up at 2 a.m. thinking you were going to
Yeah,
die.
I was like convinced. Oh, that's me then. Rabies.
And then you were like...
It's left field, but yeah, that's what it's going to be.
Then you said, "Oh, I'm worried that I was too late to start the course because it was like 5 days after." But that was nothing. That's nothing.
Yeah.
And anyway, it's just the only problem is that they're not everywhere. So, like for example, we're here, but your next one is in Essaouira.
Yeah, we're going to go into Essaouira.
And we found there's like, you know, we weren't in the desert. In the desert, there's very few. So, you know, you were in the right place. We were traveling quite extensively, so it meant that we could just keep moving. It would happen at the right time, but it's just made us a bit more vigilant with Paloma, because we were talking about Paloma touching all the cats, only actually one of the other
she's
episodes.
obsessed,
and so, you know, we were saying to her, look, this is what happens if you get a scratch. You're going to have 5 injections, which you just can't be asked to have. So let's just not add that to the list of things to do.
Please, just look. Like the Barbary macaques. These
Just
are wild
look.
animals. Just look from afar.
But the other thing is, we were thinking, maybe we should just, because that's what Vanny Pack was saying, that they'd had the vaccines as like a precaution. But then when I looked at it, I was saying this to you, and then you asked them and they said, I wouldn't bother. But when you have this is how mental rabies must be. But they were like, even after 5, which I think is insanity, 5 vaccines, especially when the dogs only have 1. Or 2 in our case, because they failed the first. But, you know, after 5 vaccines, you ain't covered. If you got a scratch again or you got a bite again, you have to do it again, but just less.
You still have to do a bloody booster. You're not covered.
Insane. Anyway, so if you're ever in a country that's rabies heavy, it's easy enough, but it's just a hassle.
Yeah, it's just
and also it's in Morocco as well. It's part of their healthcare system. It's free. You haven't had to pay a penny for this,
absolutely.
which is just insane. Because if you're doing that in the UK, it's a thing that you have to pay privately. That's what the Vanny Pack was saying.
Also, we stopped off at these. We stop off at these places. Naomi's like, "Oh, I'm going to put the kettle on while you go and do that."
Yeah.
No, mate, I'm in and out.
Oh my
in
God,
about 10 minutes.
I know.
Naomi's livid. I'm like, what? I've only just done my tea.
It was so quick in Tetuan. You were literally in and out within less than 5 minutes.
You know, you're used to our glorious NHS, and you're like, okay, well, this is going to be a bit of a wait, isn't it?
In fairness, you probably might have died. They're like, they were like, I'm not sure it's
We've got
that
this lovely
high priority.
anti-rabies thing, babe.
You can get a doctor's appointment in 4 to 6 weeks. Oh, well, I kind of need it now.
Yeah, but I might be frothing at the mouth at that point. Any chance we could get? No?
Because everyone talks about the healthcare. I mean, sure, I haven't experienced the healthcare. I've had a few people, but there was a guy with a broken foot. He experienced the Moroccan healthcare in Agadir, and he was like highly praising it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so there's this. I think I just get pissed off by this general sweeping generalisation that the healthcare is poor, because obviously we've experienced A&E in Portugal with Xanthi when she had her seizure, and we've experienced this. And actually, I'm sure there are negative stories, the same as there's negative stories everywhere. But this has been a very positive story for you to actually resolve this situation.
No, it's fine, and it will be fine, and
you
hopefully won't die. Fingers crossed.
Anyway, next thing.
So yes, but it did. So doing this, having this schedule, it was annoying as well, because then we were coming to the end of our 3-month visa.
Yeah.
And it kind of was part of that, and we had to do a border run at Ceuta /Seta.
It's spelled on the signs, interesting, SEPTA.
Oh, I think it's SEBTA.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was a P.
But then the Spanish call it Ceuta.
But because so to clarify, it's a Spanish, what do you call it?
The reason enclave, I think technically.
Yeah, so it's like the Gibraltar to the Spain.
Yeah.
It's like Ceuta to Morocco.
Yeah, it's the Spanish bit, and it's very odd. Once you get in there, it's literally like a Lidl. They're all speaking Spanish in there. It's you literally are going into Spain, but it's just like a little bit tucked off in the top corner of Morocco. Very odd.
But I thought it was going to be like Morocco meets Spain, not Spain meets Morocco. Do you know what I mean? So now I'm like, is Gibraltar just very British?
Yeah, I'm still intrigued.
Is there fish and chip shops?
We didn't do Gibraltar this time. We were going to, but yeah, I mean, I am intrigued. Also, do they speak English? Are they wandering around? Are they called Dave and Keith, and they're wandering around
Well, they have the British number plates, because we saw that, which was fascinating. So these have Spanish number plates.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was odd.
It was really. I mean, it was a very beautiful coastline, because it's technically the same coastline as the Mediterranean. It's Mediterranean. It's very beautiful. But getting the van around Ceuta is probably exactly how it would be to get the van around Gibraltar.
Yeah,
not really
it feels tight. One-way system.
It's tiny.
Yeah.
It's one road in, it's one road out.
Yeah.
And when you and so people are walking through the border. People who live there are either driving or walking through the border, and then it's the same the other way. So I mean, living there sounds like a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Do they have a border at Gibraltar then, like that?
It's kind of, to me, it's kind of like, I think living in these places, it's kind of like living on like the Isle of Wight or something, or the Isle of Man. It's almost like you're isolated.
But does Gibraltar do that? They have a border like that in Gibraltar.
They must
Surely.
do. They must
really?
do. Particularly now with Brexit.
Well, I ain't going to Gibraltar. Can't be asked with that.
No, I don't know. But anyway, so the point was that we were coming to the end of our 3 months of your allotted time in Morocco. And
You're
we
allowed
were doing,
90 days.
Yeah. So, and we were looking to extend that because we absolutely adore Morocco. And we were like, oh my God.
Yes, that. But also, let's just clarify one thing. Why as well?
Oh, yes. Sorry, the technicalities. I can't get my head around this, but Naomi's got it.
Okay, so blessed that we are that we're now Brexited.
Love that.
So everyone that now wants to come abroad can only have 90 days in the European Union, those who are in the Schengen. We had to extend to literally 4 days before our Schengen 90 days ended because of the cat and dog. But also other people might do that too, where they want to stay 3 months in the continent, on the continent there. So when you travel over from the EU into Africa, that day counts as 1 day of the EU and 1 day of Africa. So in order to reset your Schengen, you have to do 90 days out. So you have to do 180 days out technically, and the 180 days starts from the first day of the 90 day that you step in, right? So when you've done 90 days of EU, you've done your first 90 days, you need to do another 90 days out somewhere, so wherever that might be. That gives you 180 days overall, and then you reset your 90 days to go back in.
Yeah.
But that day that you cross over into Africa is a big problem, because if you want to reset to have a full reset of 90 days back in the Schengen, you're going to have to do an extra day in Morocco. You're going to need to do 91 days minimum. So either way, you need to do some level of border run. Now, most people fly from Agadir to Tenerife. Some people might go down to Mauritania. Very few, but some might.
Yes.
And then the other option is Ceuta, or like the tattoo artist that I met the other day, she was French, and because everyone has 90 days, that's not a Brexit thing in Morocco, she flies back to France or wherever's cheaper.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Anyway, Ceuta meant we could all stay in the van and we could make it a thing, and we decided that the Agadir flight looked too stressful because of the cat and the dog and the timings of the flights. So this is why we did it.
Yeah, and also we were told, and the general consensus was, that although yes, it is a border and it is a full-on international border, relatively quick. Like, so when we came in, for example, into Morocco at Tangier Med, it was very quick. It was like maybe an hour tops.
He literally took the sniffer dog to the door, saw Daphne, didn't bother making us move the dog, shut the door and said, all right, check the paperwork, let us through. We were through, despite the fact there was a lot of cars that day because they had the rally people. It was like really quick. So Carl, shout out, he said, and I quote, "Don't sit me down enough."
Which we're not doubting.
No, I'm not saying.
That's the
I'm not
thing.
saying Carl's wrong.
That's the thing. It's not. We can't blame these people.
I'm not saying Carl's wrong. Obviously, Carl made me think it sounded fucking easy.
Yeah,
I was into
easy.
it. Yeah.
And we were like, I mean, that makes sense with what we went through at Tangier Med. So yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, well, let's go for it.
We'll just meander over, go to the Lidl, and then come back.
Yeah, absolutely. So we get to the sort of the road that leads into the thing, and we're like, oh. I mean, initially we overshot the queue, didn't we?
Quite a
we're
lot.
like, oh. Right, we need to just go back around and join the queue properly because we're British. We're not going to try and barge in. So we got in the queue, which turned out to be as we explained to the children, oh no, this is the queue for the queue. This isn't the actual queue to get over, this is the queue for the queue.
We got there about 4:30.
Yeah, 4:30, and we were very lackadaisical. We were like, oh yeah, I mean, Carl said it was alright, so yeah, it'd be alright.
We'd also heard tell of This is the other reason why we took the van. So the other thing to note is the van gets 6 months in Morocco, and the pets, whatever. I mean, no one's even checked anymore. But the point is that you could have left your van and walked it. But then we started hearing, well, two things. Carl said that it didn't feel comfortable to him leaving his van. And
Didn't feel safe,
safe. And the second thing was people have been asked. I suppose maybe I was thinking about this. I was thinking, I wonder why. And then I was thinking maybe they say, oh, what's your mode of transport or where are you going? Because obviously at the borders they always say, where are you going? And then they say, oh, we're driving to blah, blah, blah. And then they get under the bonnet and they're like, oh, so you have a van. And then they're saying, where's your van? Go and get it. And so we were at risk of that, and we didn't want that.
Yeah, couldn't bother with that.
Anyway, so that's why we did it with the van.
Yeah, it was, well...
Well, then we waited, and the children were losing their minds. Then you made dinner.
It made it clear, there's the thing. We felt bad for the people in their cars, because at least we were sort of able to... I did the dinner, did the washing up. You were reading a bedtime story.
Yeah, they cleaned their teeth.
Okay, so basically... full checks, like every vehicle was having a full-on check. We saw people in vans, they were having to get everything out.
There was a guy and he looked proper pissed before we even got there. He had his bum bag on and he looked like he was ready to blow at any moment. The children were watching it like it was a sitcom.
They loved it.
They were like,
at that
Mummy.
point they were still in high spirits.
They were like, Mummy, this man is really angry. And the guy was literally, because he'd obviously been made to take everything out, he was throwing his shit out of this van. Like his van looked like someone had ransacked it by the time he'd finished. It was quite traumatic. And I was going to you, we are taking this out systematically, Alistair.
Yeah, absolutely. You were like, oh, I'll take advantage of this, getting everything out of the boot.
I was sweeping out the boot.
Get the broom, we're going to sweep out the boot. It's absolutely filthy in there. But yes, and we were like, oh god, these are long checks. Like, what's happened? And then we got talking to a guy who was waiting, like a local guy. I
just love talking to a Moroccan, and they were like all on their scooters waiting, and obviously they had to wait for us. And this is the thing. Okay, we're not here on our ollie bobs. We live in this van, so the amount of stuff in our baskets was pretty insane. So you could tell the Moroccan police were looking at it like, oh fuck, we've got to fully check this. This isn't quite a big van.
Yeah.
And then they took absolutely everything out. Then they started taking the plug sockets off the wall. I was literally losing my mind.
They literally had their screwdrivers out.
And I looked at him and I said,
what?
are you putting that back after you take this bloody plug socket off? My brass plug socket. I hope you're not going to slip and start scratching it. And then he's like looking, and then you weren't there, but he put his screwdriver in then behind it. I said to him, you're taking it off the wall, but it is live. It's connected to the battery. I said to him, it's live.
Careful, mate.
And he was like, whatever. And then he put his thing in and he was like showing the other guy how big the cavity of the wall is. And I was thinking, what? This is mental. He thinks I've got some weed behind the cavity of my wall. That's what he's thinking. So then I started chatting to this guy who was like, they were all wetting themselves, weren't they? All the Moroccans, they were laughing in the queue. Because he then said to me, like 3 days ago, a caravan had gone through and found, he said like 200 kilos of hash. And the other guy with him was like, no, it was like 800 kilos of hash in the ceiling of the caravan.
So we were like, right. So
that's why he was like,
so they're looking at us and we're like, that kind of mule.
Anyway, so I thought it was hilarious because we took the cat in a little bag out of the van away from the sniffer dog, and they wanted Daphne away from the sniffer dog. And then I didn't tell you, but one of the Moroccans said to me at this campsite, he said, you could have put the hashish with the cat. And then I was thinking, could have put the hashish up the Daphne's bumhole.
Literally, this was the game we were playing. We were literally, because we were very bored. We were like, if you'd been accosted by a drug lord and they'd said, well, you're gonna have to take some drugs across the border, but otherwise we're gonna, I don't know,
kill you.
Yeah, that. And we were saying like, well, where would you hide it?
Well, yeah, but this is the thing, because it's endless. And so we were testing the theory. We were like, we're not going to open the safe and see if they make you open the safe. They did make you open the safe. Then we have the roof bags, but they did make you go through the roof bags.
But I could have tucked it right at the back of that roof bag and it would have been absolutely fine. They didn't do a thorough check. But this was kind of what we were. Yes, obviously we don't want them to go through absolutely everything like ad nauseum. But like we were thinking, Yeah, but you could.
Oh, no, do you
it
know
feels like you could still bypass this system.
Yeah, where did we say we would put it?
So what is the bloody point?
No, we said we would put it under the compost toilet, under the shit. That's what we said we would do.
There we go. That's the answer.
Would the sniffer dog find it through the smell of human shit?
Dogs, they do have good noses, don't they? I don't know.
The other thing was like, are you going through every single tin in my cupboard?
Yeah.
Are you going in the fridge? Did they go in the fridge?
Did they go in the fridge?
I don't know. They went in the fridge.
In a chicken carcass?
I'm not being funny, but he opened that cupboard with all the clothes that are all like compressed down into those little packets.
Yeah.
He didn't go through all of them.
Yeah.
So
the top tips there from us. But anyway, so we got through. It was arduous. Yeah.
1:30 a.m. No. Then they did it, and they were like, "Fine, can't find anything on you." And then he made us reverse back because our number plate is ridiculous. It says BUW, and so it looks like bum. Okay,
it kind of looks like bum.
All right, it looks like bum. Okay, something I hadn't considered.
Yeah.
And then he said that the guy on the little white card that gives your van 6 months...
Obviously thought the same thing.
And so he was like, this is wrong, so we need to change it. But those policemen at 1:30 in the morning when the children were losing their mind, I lost my mind.
Because we had said to us, we were like giving ourselves a pep talk before. We were like, stay polite.
Stay polite.
Stay calm.
Anyway.
Be nice.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
It got to 1:30.
At that point,
it got to 1:30. He was doing nothing, and he was doing the classic, I'm Moroccan man and you're a woman. And I was like, I can't actually deal with this. And then the classic is, I'm speaking French to you and you're saying that you don't know what I'm saying. And so then I said to him, parlez-vous en français? And he's looking at me, oui. So I'm like, so why are you not understanding what I'm saying? They said 5 minutes. It'd been like 30 minutes again. And then that same Moroccan guy, he did a little voice to me and it said in like, Google Translate, get really shitty with them because then they will have to do it. Okay, bye. And then I was like, honk on the barrier.
Then literally Naomi was like honking the horn.
Because everyone.
I had got out the van at this point. I was literally because the guy who was like, in inverted commas, dealing with it was just standing there.
No, but I said to you several times.
And he was just standing there holding our logbook and doing nothing.
I said to you several times, like he is not he just has to rewrite it. And they're doing it on purpose. They're doing it on purpose as a power play. I know why they're doing it. And that's basically what the guy was saying. He reaffirmed it. And everyone loves to honk in that queue. They're always honking. It's an aggressive area. Like everyone's fucking fucked off. Yeah. So I was like adding to my... But then I just didn't stop because it was like in the undercover bit. And it's quite a loud honk. So I was just there, honk, 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 honk. Children thought it was hilarious.
I'd lost it at that point. I was literally like shouting at the guy, calling him every word under the sun. Pretty confident that he didn't actually know any English, so just calling him every word under the sun.
We had lost our fucking minds.
And literally, having just done that, he was like, he picks up the bit of paper.
He wrote it. I told you.
It took him 30 seconds.
It was a power play. It was like
unbelievable.
It was like, we can't fully check your van because your cavity is too big or whatever, and like, almost like, I'm going to make you do this. But then the worst part was that because they made us reverse back, then there were loads of fucking things in front of us.
Then we had to wait for people to go in front.
And then I was trying to like get around to the other queue one to try and be quicker because I was like, that pickup truck will go quicker. And then you were like, you can't get round there, Naomi. And I was like, I will get round there. And then we finally got to the place to sleep at 1:30 in the morning. And then we were like, let's wake early and let's get back to the queue. And then we realised that the time had changed.
Oh, gone into Spanish time.
Spanish time.
Yeah. So suddenly we'd lost an hour.
Yeah, so by the time you went to bloody Lidl, right? This was also fucking pointless. By the time you went to Lidl and I went to Lidl to get some sun cream, and I was just like, what is the bloody point? I'm not missing anything here. And then we got back in the queue, 4 hours on the way back down, round. 4 hours. We'd just done one way, we were doing the other way. And then what did they do? They took everything back out of the van again.
Oh, they did all the same thing.
You know we've just been through. You can see we've just been through.
Yeah,
it was all logged that we've been through. But they were like, we're going to take it all out again. This young guy, who was very haphazard though this time, because it was like the Moroccan side. Apparently they're worse on the Spanish side. But they were like, he was haphazard, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then what was hilarious was he hadn't checked the roof bags, and then he got told, didn't he, to come back? Because he was like, finished.
Because he had said, all done. And then he came back.
You have to check the roof bags.
Hang on. Oh, roof bags. Hang on.
And then he was saying to you, is that right? Because I was then in trouble with this other guy. But was he saying to you, take them down? off the roof.
Oh, yeah, initially I was like,
Fucking
no, mate, I'm sorry, mate. In my best French, I was going, too heavy, mate. Too heavy.
Then he was...
You come up the ladder,
And
mate.
then he didn't want to come up the ladder in his tight trousers.
Ladder. Yeah. It's like,
You were
careful.
and you were going up the ladder, and you could tell he was like, I got tight trousers on, I'm not going up there. But then I was watching everyone watching you and this policeman on the roof of the Vario. Anyway, the poor children were so patient, because then what transpired was we almost risked re-entry because we had the copy of the V5, a colour copy, which has not been an issue at all, but because we tried to change of use, which was a total waste of time with the DVLA, and had not changed the use of the van anyway, we sent it off in September and we only heard back from them in March. Well, what were we going to do? Hang around the UK waiting for them to decide on the change of use for that amount of months? And it was actually a garage that said, I was really confident that I needed the original and I didn't want to do that, but this garage was like, no, it's better that you at least try and change the use. Then if someone stops you or the police stop you, you can just explain the situation, because they would rather that than you have the original V5. So all of this, because it's got a tachograph, it's a whole nother story. But then this guy, this Moroccan police officer, instantly was like, well, you're not coming in with this V5, it's illegal.
This is a copy, yeah.
And I was like, but I don't have the original. And so then after all of this, I thought, I'm not even going to be able to get back in.
Yeah.
And then you got a little bit shitty because you lost your mind at this point. He made you apologise.
Yeah, I had to go and apologise to him because I wasn't sure if we were going to get into this, but yes, it's sort of, but it's definitely a window into my mind at this point. I sarcastically offered him money.
I
said, what do you want? Money.
Because
and he said to me, just say that again.
Yeah, he said,
say that again. I'm like, no, mate, I'm not saying that again. Because he was like furious, and he was like, say that again. I was like, I'm not saying that again. Absolutely not.
Because the issue is that I get it, like it is illegal, but what are you going to do with us at this point? What are you going to do with us?
What are we going to do?
And also on technicalities, our van has 6 months in Morocco. Yeah. So obviously my technicality, I don't know what his is, but mine was I've got a slip of paper until July. His was, well, you're coming back through the border and I'm going to issue you a new one, which I didn't know that they necessarily did anyway. Someone told me they did, someone told me they didn't. So I was a bit like, yeah, but this isn't your problem. This is the Tangier Med police problem who allowed it through. So let's not create something that doesn't need to be created. Also, you could contact the DVLA. Like we were trying to explain to him, I've got a thread from emails from DVLA asking where it is, and they can prove that they were delayed and it was lost in the post and so on and so forth. But he didn't want to know any of that. Yeah. He kept stopping us talking and kept saying, no.
He was so rude. Like on it, I was triggered. I didn't really cope with it very well. I sort of, from that on, stayed out of the conversation. At the end, I went over to apologise to him. And
no, you were told to apologise.
Well, okay, to be fair, I was going to apologise to him anyway. But then, yes, the other guy said to me to apologise to him, because evidently that was the guy who was holding the,
the key to
holding the key to us coming back in. So he was like, yeah, you're going to have to, his ego is going to have, you're going to have to go and apologise to him. Yeah. So, which I did, and I was very, in my best French, I did a very heartfelt apology. He said to me, he gave me this spiel. Look, I don't care what happened in Tangier Med. It is the law. You have to have the original. Yeah? That's the law. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So then...
On you go through.
Yeah.
With the copy.
Yeah.
Like, what? Oh, right, you're letting us through.
Yeah, this is the problem that I then have, is that we all know that is technically the law, but we all know that this doesn't always happen in principle. And so you're doing it to be a job's worth.
Yeah.
So you did it to power play.
So you could have just let us through.
Yeah.
You didn't have to.
You did it to power play, so on and so forth. So I said to Ali, if this is the lifestyle that we're going to live, you're going to have to fucking get used to the narcissistic tendencies of a policeman that's at a border.
Absolutely.
And if we're going to have to deal with Brexit life, this is what you're going to have to deal with.
I did not, like I say, we gave ourselves a pep talk before, like, be
you
kind,
were
be
far
polite.
from it, literally.
We lost it at that point.
So both ways. So then when we got into...
I think it's also a Lidl.
What? That does it for you?
Yeah. I always get frustrated at a Lidl.
No, I did think it wasn't a bad Lidl, considering it was a Lidl.
Yeah, I always get a bit, because you can never get everything you need in a Lidl.
Well, you weren't getting
So
anything.
I put it down to that.
You weren't even getting anything in Lidl. What did you even go and get?
No, I'm just trying to make excuses for my absolute idiocy.
Anyway, you were riled. You've learnt that was a trigger, and then I dealt with it. And then, ironically, the Moroccan guy said, "I'm going to deal with her only." And I thought, "Oh, that's new, Morocco."
Yeah.
All right. I thought, all right, I'll have a woman.
God.
All right.
A woman. I'm going to have to deal with a woman.
Yeah, that's how
Bloody hellfire.
that's how angry you made him.
Yeah.
And then we were on our merry way, and I
Yeah.
was so stressed. I don't think I could manage my nervous system
So
very
now,
well to that.
long story short, we're still here.
Oh well, we made it into Morocco
And-
again, as you know, because we said we were in Morocco.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, upcoming, we're going to do a little thing about Marrakesh, because we did a little day trip out in Marrakesh, and we think actually we bloody nailed Marrakesh.
Yeah.
Absolutely nailed it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a podcast and talk about what we did in Marrakesh and like our nice little trip out in Marrakesh.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know, anything else? We're just going to keep doing these.
Maybe that'll be more positive
Yeah.
next time.
Maybe like general tips for Morocco. We're going to try and do more useful stuff for Morocco, for traveling, and like more sort of just more useful podcasts as opposed to us just like.
I do like a diaries though.
Yeah, the diaries, I mean, it's what's given me a spark in my belly. I'm
Anyway.
like just enjoying stuff off my chest.
I just want to give a shout out that we've been doing it for about 6 weeks now.
Yeah.
The podcast.
Yes.
And we've had over 500 downloads in 6
Oh.
weeks.
It fills my heart with absolute joy.
And you have been doing reach outs to people to be like, hey, like this is what we're doing. If you fancy giving it a listen and then maybe giving us some stars, that would be amazing.
Absolutely.
Preferably 5.
Yeah, ideally 5, yeah.
And I think that that might help. And I think we should be really proud of keeping going with something, because consistency is where it's hard.
Just really loving this format. This is the format that's like really working for us. It's like a long form, and it's just sort of feels a bit more sort of nourishing.
And if you listen and you want to just share some words, I think that cheerleading is what keeps it going.
Yeah.
You have to sometimes imagine that we have chosen this way of life, but sometimes we're in a van by ourselves, we don't meet other people, and we're like, oh, we're just doing this and I don't really know what we're doing, but we're going to just do a podcast, and we're just talking to each other and then hoping that someone listens. And now
it can get a bit sort of cabin fever, just like us talking to each other and the children. We all love each other, but like...
Yeah, so when someone goes, oh, I listened to this and it was really nice, I'm like,
any
thanks.
outside input would be amazing.
Or any questions that you're like, oh, you should cover this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, any ideas for like
I want to know
podcasts?
this. I want to know this. That would be good as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for listening.
Nomestia.